umbrella is trying to force its way into the field of 65. The Ohio State Buckeyes can claim a berth today in Chicago and bounce one team from the tournament. The Buckeyes have won 3 games in 3 days. Yesterday, stunning Michigan State with a most improbable hero in a most unlikely way.
Ready, steady, go!
Bass is at the line for 2 shots.
Oh, he's going to home! Can you believe that? Ohio State in the Big Ten final. Unbelievable win.
Ready, go!
Ohio State will meet Illinois in the final, a team that won't back down to anyone. The Illini freshmen have been fearless, and Big Ten Player of the Year Brian Cook combines finesse with a towering inside presence. It's the Big Ten Championship on CBS. It is, in fact, the final piece to the puzzle for the brackets and for the committee, as Ohio State could certainly spoil somebody's day today. Not only Illinois, the Buckeyes going for 4 wins in 4 days, taking on Illinois here in Chicago. Buckeyes with wins over Iowa, Wisconsin, the regular season champion, Michigan State yesterday, and now they take on mighty Illinois. Hello, friend Jim Nance, Billy Packer.
Jim, are you thinking Southern Illinois in those comments?
Yes, Southern Illinois, maybe. I think Clark was right about that. They could be the team that gets in if Illinois wins.
When's the last time Southern Illinois fans rooted for Illinois to win something?
I guarantee they're not the only ones out there. A lot of teams think, hey, we're on the bubble. We need some help today.
Absolutely.
We need Illinois to win. They need a big game from Brian Cook.
Well, you can make a statement right here that this guy, without question, is a first-team All-American. He's Player of the Year in the Big Ten. You could say this guy qualifies to be the National Player of the Year. An outstanding all-around player is Brian Cook. And when you start talking about Brent Darby, you start talking about a guy that's used to playing more minutes than anybody in the Big Ten this year. So I don't think 4 games in 4 days are going to bother him at all. He is quite a leader and quite a competitor.
Difficult man to stop. We've seen it here this week.
He loves, actually, when people double-team him. He probably splits the double-team as well as anybody in the country. He knows not only how to split it, but then when people come around him for the double-team, he knows how to find the open man. Does it as well as anybody with that power and speed and that low dribble.
Ohio State won this tournament last year. Their coach, Jim O'Brien, and Bill Self of Illinois. Their thoughts on this matchup today.
Until we get beat and until we're out, as trite as it might seem to everybody else, I need to have our guys understand we're still the reigning champs of the Big Ten tournament. And until we're out of this thing, we need to act that way and we need to play that way. So there's a sense of pride right now.
Until the game actually starts, you know, I think it's just, they think it's just a shirts and skins game. And then we realize the magnitude and things like that because of the unbelievable atmosphere. But these guys are a loose group, and I think loose focused groups are the ones that do well this time of year.
Illinois with a win could be a 2 seed in the tournament. Ohio State has only one way to make it to the big dance. Must win today. We'll be right back.
CBS Sports coverage of the Big Ten Conference Tournament presented by Intel is sponsored by Intel Centrino Mobile Technology. Laptop technology designed to unwire your life. Singular, the wireless company that fits you best. And by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. It's child support.
6 straight tournament games in the Big Ten, going back to last year when they won the championship. Sylvester, Radinovich, Jenkins up front. They fouled out 2 of their starters yesterday, but still held on to win. Connolly and Brent Darby has been their star in the tournament. And Bill Self, his Illini, 23-6 on the season.
Jim, part of those wins in the Big Ten tournament, one of them took place against Illinois last year in the semifinals of this Big Ten tournament.
And an all-freshman backcourt with Brown and Williams. Yes, they met last year in the semis, won by Ohio State 94-88, but a different makeup for that Ohio State roster this year.
Now, here's Darby, guarded by Brown. Brown with great quickness may be able to stay with Darby because that ball low to the floor will be right in Brown's wheelhouse.
Inside, Jenkins got the shot he wanted, but too strong. And out comes Illinois in the white uniforms.
Radinovich and Conley, two starters, did not play in the one game these two teams faced each other this year. A game which Illinois, by Bill Self's explanation, said was the best first half he played all year.
Blocked by Jenkins. What a play.
Can you believe that? Giving up about 4 inches. This is some defensive play against the #1 player in the Big Ten, all ball.
The one meeting this year, Billy, you alluded to, was February the 9th at Illinois, 76-57. The Illini, Darby missing inside and chased down. And a loose ball goes to Darren Williams. And 19-point win by the Illini, led by as much as 32 in the second half of that game.
Yeah, we'll get into some stats about that game that are quite surprising. There you see the 2-3 zone. Cook's got to make that catch.
But really, as you said, you almost have to toss them out. Any relevance to that game with Radinovich
and
out,
Conley.
And Conley, two of their probably 3 best players.
Absolutely. And, of course, the game was played at Illinois.
Bill Self's only lost 1 game at home as the Illinois coach in 3 years.
Double down by Williams. He gives up. That ball should have gone out to Conley. Radinovich didn't recognize it.
Darby had a good look on the 3.
There's that 2-3 zone. I don't think it'll be long, Jim, before we see Harrington into the ball game to see if he can open up this zone a little bit with some outside shooting.
Powell with a nice save. Quick baseline shot, too strong. You just wonder about Ohio State having played 1 extra game than Illinois. And this guy right here, Darby's gone 118 out of 120 possible minutes.
Good job by Conley, who's known as an outside jump shooter. I think he surprised Williams by putting that ball on the floor.
Augustine with the foul for Illinois. Now they're going to call it actually on Darren Williams.
Nice out-of-bounds play concept. Sylvester just couldn't handle it. Obviously, Darby cannot walk on that baseline there, so it didn't get the passing angle he wanted.
2 minutes into the game, no score.
Augustine open. Powell waits too long to get him the ball down low.
Over the top, there he is, Augustine with 3 Buckeyes converging. Three freshman starters for this Illinois bunch, the backcourt plus Augustine in the pivot.
Sylvester, who got them off to a good start yesterday, being guarded by Powell.
D. Brown open in the corner. Augustine, freshman, with the first 4 of the game.
1 of 2 freshmen, all freshmen on this Illinois team, Brown being the other.
That's the all-freshman team on the league all-freshman team, that is. Connolly with a 3, and the Buckeyes hit the board.
Jim, certainly no indication this early that Ohio State looks fatigued at all. Matter of fact, surprisingly, it looks like they have some pretty fresh legs out there.
They have so much more riding on this game than Illinois, assured of a good seed in the tournament. Ohio State again must win to get in. And there's a 3 back the other way. Powell comes up short. Ohio State ball. That 3 by Connolly makes him now 11 for 20 from behind the arc in the Big Ten tournament. 55%.
He's had 15 points, 21 points, and 11 points in the 3 games, averaging right at 37 minutes. Bad hands.
Yeah, Jenkins saw it go right off his knee.
Guys that have poor hands, Jim, when they're running towards you as a passer, you're better off letting them come to a stop first. They have a hard time on the move, particularly when they're running at a ball to make a clean catch. Cross court thrown over the top of the zone. Cook's getting a lot of looks on that baseline.
Yeah, but he's missed a couple of baseline jumpers. Foul called on Ohio State. The defending champions. Radinovich called for the foul. Ohio State, we've had only 1 repeat champion. That was the Mateen Cleaves bunch, 99 and 2000. 99 and went on to the Final Four with Ohio State down in St. Petersburg. In 2000, they actually, Ohio State and Michigan State shared the Big Ten regular season title, but then Michigan State went on to win the national title.
And that particular year, it was Illinois knocking Ohio State out in the semifinals. So they've only faced each other twice. This is the third time. But Ohio State rebounded very nicely, worked their way to the Final Four. Many people felt last year Ohio State really probably was hurt as much as anybody by the NCAA selection committee as to where they were moved after winning the Big Ten championship.
Connolly, good again.
Great
Another
job.
three. I don't think there's any question that last year Ohio State got the worst hand dealt to them by the committee after winning in the Big Ten tournament held in Indianapolis. They had to go out west, never even able to have a practice at home. On the line, it'll be Ohio State ball. And then they had to travel west and play in the early game on Thursday, 2 time zones
And
away.
Illinois came right back to home.
That's right. 6-6 at the start.
55 teams with one chance to advance. Make your move to the Met. Thursday on CBS.
Well, Jim, there it is. The time is counting down.
To the selection show on CBS. I heard our guys back at the studio took a little issue with us in our little combined efforts last night, putting Pittsburgh as the one in the East.
Well, one of the things was our feeling is that the committee should reward somebody from their natural territory, and Pitt doing a great job winning the Big East. Their first championship ever in the Big East Conference Tournament.
Your point is, if you have, let's say, Kansas is the 2, which we did in the East, you got them pretty even. Might as well give it to the team of the
Guy that's home,
region.
sure.
But who knows?
Good steal. There's that quickness.
Darby defending. Only man there is Powell with the putback.
Powell on the hustle. Sylvester took time, and it looks like Darby is cut. Boy, we have had our share of people getting cut in this Big Ten tournament.
Shots to the face.
The Darby is going to be allowed to play. Doesn't look like any blood's coming out. There we see Brown. We talked about the incredible quickness of Brown. And if there's ever a matchup that, in effect, may hold Darby down some, it's Brown's ability, because look at how low to the floor he plays, and that takes away some of that low dribble that Darby has, particularly on his crossover dribbles. And I think Darby respects him.
Zach Williams here, first sub into the game, the 33 for Ohio State.
Should have gone inside to Zach Williams. He had Cook over his shoulder.
Connolly spinning away from Williams. And that rattles out. Cook snares the rebound.
Great rebound by Cook. He had to block out Williams, who is a very aggressive rebounder. Zone packed in now inside the top of the key. The jump shot is really there from the outside.
Cook back outside. Brown.
Brown's got to be ready to shoot that ball on the catch. The zone is inside the three-point line at every position.
5 on the shot clock. Cook, he can fire it from there. And Powell and Connolly collide. It'll go against the Buckeyes.
Josh Powell, another great hustle play, Jim.
All right, Billy, for those who missed it, this was what we came up with last night. Our Sweet 16 seeds, we bumped Duke up to a 2. We revealed that when they were like 15 down against NC State, but they come back to win the ACC title, so maybe they're on the 2 line.
Well, you know, the toughest problem for the last couple of weeks is the Big 12. That Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas situation. And I felt that, and I know you did too, Jim, Oklahoma is the one that got to the championship game. Well, that might have been the separation between Kansas, Texas, and Oklahoma.
Inside. And the loose ball picked up by Powell, and he's fouled. Yes, we gave the Big 12 1-1, that being Oklahoma, and a pair of 2s, Kansas and Texas.
That's the third hustle play that has paid off for Powell in this game.
Powell has really come on here late in the season. The last 11 games, he's averaged 13 contests.
Well, he was 5 for 5, 14 points coming off the bench. He was a bench player due to injuries, but came off the bench and had 14 points against Ohio State in that regular season win.
Already with 5 in this game.
Jim, I mentioned a few things about the stats in that game. Again, remembering 2 starters were out. Ohio State only shot 31% for the game. And in the first half, they had a half like we saw yesterday, Michigan State. They were 8 for 34, only 23%.
Dee Brown comes flying in. That quickness, but misses the short shot, and it's Ohio State ball.
And the rebounding in that game, quite surprisingly, was 33-33, even with Radinovich and Conley out of there. Today, Illinois a +9, which is more like it, with the advantage that they've had in the Big Ten Conference rebounding this year against Ohio State.
This is the end of the floor where you really wonder how Ohio State will get it done today. What are their options? Where are they going to get the points from? Connolly with a couple of early threes. Zach Williams misses the short shot.
Williams always has to give up size when he gets inside. It's amazing he gets those shots off. Now, Harrington should be at the top of the key and be looking for his jump shot. It'll be there for him.
Brown's got the outside shot. Buckeyes in the area, and it'll go against Illinois.
That's Powell. Good blocking out on that zone. Now, one of the things, Jim, in the Big Ten, a lot of people don't play zone defense very much. Jim O'Brien, with his Eastern background, likes to change defenses and go to a lot of zones. Teams that play a lot of zone, they get used to the block-out assignments. And so you can see this Ohio State doing a nice job today keeping Illinois off the boards.
Oklahoma, with seconds remaining in the first half against Missouri, is up 21 in the Big 12 title game. As we see now, Brandon Foose Cheatham in for Ohio State, number 2, handling the ball.
Decent ball handler, not much of a shooter. Darby Walsh.
Yeah, they got whistle for it, trying to make a move on Brown.
Psychologically, Brown is giving Darby a lot to think about.
One of the stars yesterday right here, Luther Head, coming in for Illinois. He lost a tooth in the game yesterday against Indiana and spent a couple of hours last night with a local dentist.
A special brace in his mouth that he'll be wearing for this game. Had a sensational ball game yesterday.
Harrington. Three-pointer, yes.
That's where he needs to be. And just spot up out there and wait for the ball to be rotated or cross-court passing and get ready to shoot on the catch.
One of the real strengths here, Illinois can go 8 or 9 deep very easily with guys like Harrington coming off the bench and give them some punch.
And Jim, not only come off the bench, but they can come off the bench in a lot of different positions.
Got Nick Smith in there too, the 7'2 center. Outside, Darby's on the board with a 3.
Good look by Radinovich. What we're seeing so far is Illinois is collapsing down when the ball goes inside. They ought to be able to get it back out for some jump shots. Now we're seeing a man-to-man, and I think with Harrington in the ball game, Jim O'Brien says, I can't afford to stay in the zone. Harrington being played by Conley.
Cook, first make of the day, and missed his first 4, and it's a 3-pointer.
Well, he has now made 25 of 79 threes on the year. A very good shooter up from the perimeter.
Zach Williams backing him in. Soft hook, yes.
Cook accepted that back in a little bit too easily, Jim. You get low box position, even though you're giving up size, you can make it from there with a half hook. Again, back to straight man-to-man goes Ohio State.
Head driving in. Tried to go over to Nick Smith, and his last touch by the Buckeyes. Ohio State's hit 3 out of 4 from behind the arc, but Illinois leads at 15-11. We're back at the Big Ten Finals, presented by Intel. Jim Nance, Billy Packer, Ohio State again, with 3 straight wins here, coming in as the 8th seed. The Big Ten tournament needing to win today to grab a spot on the field of 65 and knock somebody out. It's the only way to qualify for the big dance. Illinois, some say a 2 seed, 3 seed, somewhere in that range. Billy?
Well, Jim, who will ever forget 99 when Illinois came in as an 11th seed, worked their way all the way to the championship game, just ran out of gas against a great Michigan State team.
Oh, perfect lob to Luther Head, and for some reason he just kind of stalled in midair.
Boy, he was up there, wasn't he?
Like just an easy lay-in.
We saw yesterday Cook get the great lob pass for a lay-in and an out-of-bounds play. Head could have had it as well.
Head giving them some kind of boost yesterday off the bench and really feeling like he's healthy. The chip tooth aside, the healthiest he's been all season long. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Bruce Cheatham challenging, puts it up with the wobble.
Oh, nice shot.
Yes.
Good aggressive play by a young man who's been bothered by a knee injury all year long.
Looked like a force cheat him. Had to try to get up any kind of shot there before the shot clock expired.
This Ohio State team has lost 43 games by guys out with injuries on the year.
They'll send Cook to the line.
Take a look at this, Jim. Perfect elevation. Bill Self says that Luther's the best athlete on his team. He actually might have felt that he was going in underneath the basket.
And there we see yesterday, this was taken yesterday before the game against Indiana. He's all fixed up now, braces and all. Went to see a local dentist here, and after 2 hours on a Saturday night in the dentist chair, braces and all, he's ready to go.
Here's Cook on the foul line. Last year led the Big Ten in free throw shooting. This year shooting right at 82%. He went to the line this year 187 times, which is really solid for a guy that's going to touch the ball on the inside. Just think Darby went to the foul line 245 times. Shows how aggressive he is in his penetration. They ought to get the ball to Darby now. He's got Williams on him. With Brown out of there, I think Darby can operate. Here it is. And there he goes.
Over Cook. And off the shot clock and down. Should that count?
It did not fortunately hit the shot clock, so he got the real bounce.
I don't know. It was close. Top of the backboard at least. Man.
If we have a camera angle on that one, we win an Academy Award. Be interesting to see.
Smith long on the jumper. Darby boxing out, so it's Ohio State ball.
Here you go, Jim. Watch this one. Darby recognized right away that he can take Williams. That ball goes up. Wow, never does touch it.
Looked like a Charlie Bass free throw. Bass off the glass for the winner yesterday.
I haven't seen many off the top of the backboard and in. Good dish.
There's some comeback by Duke today, Billy, to win the ACC as Darby looks up the rainbow three and Cook with the rebound.
Darby's been better off putting the ball on the floor against Williams and driving on him.
Harrington comes off the pick. Yes. Hold on, whistle first.
I don't know about this one. There could be a solid screen call against Sylvester, but that whistle was late. The basket's going to count.
That's a three. Ed Hightower says count the basket and the foul on Jenkins of Ohio State.
Well, what's interesting there is I thought Sylvester got fouled on the screen to get Harrington open. He got popped right on the shoulder, and that ball goes in, and obviously the whistle came after the shot was released. Harrington does a great job coming in, spreading out that zone defense.
Yeah, knocks down 2 3-pointers. So the three-point basket and possession off the Jenkins foul.
I'm surprised with Harrington out of the ball game, particularly with Williams back there and Brown out of the game, that Ohio State doesn't go back to their zone.
That's called on Nick Smith, angling for position underneath. Back to Ohio State.
And by going back to the zone, they can save a little bit of energy. Chasing this Ohio State team around, this Illinois team around man-to-man is going to wear this club down.
Augustine inserted back in the Illinois lineup.
With Cheatham in the game, he's got the ball in his hands so much that Darby's been taken out of action a little bit.
Sylvester with 2 shots in this game where he wasn't really quite set. 20-15, Illinois driving in with head. Yes.
Luther, Jim, realizes that he has that incredible elevation once he gets inside, not afraid to take it down there. Here's Darby doing the right thing, taking that ball inside on the dribble with Williams. And I really think anytime he's matched up with Williams, they ought to keep the ball in Darby's hands, because now Brown's going to come back in the game rested. Williams probably will sit down. Darby won't have that advantage.
Yes, Williams will head back to the bench with 2 fouls, and Dee Brown steps out onto the floor. And here comes Radinovich for Ohio State.
And you see where Brown went? He ran right over to number 4 and got right in his face. It is so tough when you're a dribbler like Darby, when you got a guy that plays low to the floor and has the foot quickness of a guy like Brown. Luke Brown wanted that one, didn't he?
Well, if you're Darby, you just know that you can't turn your back on him for just a second. Brown's so quick. Off the pick, Darby open, and it rattles in.
What happened?
For
What
a
happened?
two.
On the solid screen, Brown went underneath the solid screen. That's how Darby got open.
And 1 foot on the line. Made the tough shot. Powell gets past Darby, and he fouled him away. Oh, they're going to count the basket.
Some play by Powell. Great drive. I think he caught Darby off guard, coming right off that pass and going inside.
First on Darby.
Jim Powell, it makes a whole different change in how you're going to play this Illinois team. He's had a great finish, 20 against Northwestern, 22 Indiana, 18-7 rebounds Michigan in just 15 minutes. He really gives them an explosive score in the front court.
Cook will sit, and Smith takes his spot.
They've got a lot of weapons, does Illinois, Jim. You pointed out this could be a very dangerous team in the NCAA tournament. They can stay out of foul trouble. They got a lot of, now that Head's healthy, they come in off the bench with solid players at every position.
Whenever asked for the last month, I would say this was my sleeper team, but they're no secret or sleeper team anymore. Everyone knows about them. A lot of people will be picking them in their brackets.
Boy, there's Smith. They're so tall. No place for Darby to throw the ball under the basket.
It'll be Ohio State ball when we come back. Illinois matched its largest lead here. 7:18 to play. First half up 7. Have now just moved inside of 2 hours to go. Countdown to the selection show on CBS. Here's the Singular Wireless fan poll. Who should be the National Player of the Year? Now, we weren't asked to propose these 5 because we would like to see Brian Cook on that list, maybe even win it. But Singular Wireless users can send their vote to 171 or log on to cbssportsline.com/singular. Stay tuned. The results during Singular at the half. How do you feel about that there, Mr. Packard?
Well, one thing we know in the Big 12, with Hollis Price and T.J. Ford, you can only have one guy that's the player of the year in his conference, which was Hollis Price. So it'd be kind of unusual for a guy to be National Player of the Year. It wasn't his player of the year in his conference.
And where would you put Cook if he was on that? Let's say you went 6 deep on that list.
You know, Jim, just like the teams in the country this year, there is great balance for National Player of the Year. Obviously, all of those guys, and I'm not trying to dodge your question, but all of those guys really can make a case for Player of the Year. I would put Cook certainly on that list.
Big Ten Player of the Year. And, you know, so often you see it. A player, a senior. And it was Jeffries in his sophomore year in Indiana, winning it last year. Frank Williams of Illinois 2 years ago. But a team riding on the back of a senior, a star senior. Last year, Juan Dixon. Year before that, Shane Battier. And could this be the man this year? Brian Cook in the weeks ahead.
Tough shot.
Udinovich tips, gets it back. Over Smith. And big battle inside. Augustine is going to be whistled for that. He doesn't like it.
Well, we had some real bodies in there. Radinovich, Smith, Augustine, all battling in close from about 1.5 feet to try to get this up. Look at how tall Smith is in that reach. Jim, I understand that his reach is 9 feet. So he's only a foot. He can just stand still. He's only a foot away from that rim.
And he
there it goes
out
again.
right there. Ohio State retains possession. He's the tallest player in Illinois history at 7'2".
Now, one of the things that players should realize, not only is he tall, he keeps his hands above his head. All passes should be thrown as bounce passes down underneath that wingspan. And he'd have no opportunity to pick it off.
Yesterday, you were lobbying for him to put a little sky hook into his repertoire. Here he is pulling down the rebound.
Doing a job in this ball game.
And this is going the other way. Augustine whistled again.
He got in foul trouble yesterday and eventually fouled out. It looks like they're going to have to sit him again.
He's got 2, Billy. Out he goes. Cook back to the floor. Cook and Smith together on the floor. Pretty interesting combo. Sean Harrington also out there. He's already hit 2 threes.
Jimmy, I think because of their size and their ability to shoot outside, there's Smith again coming to help out. He is really causing a problem. But I don't think there's any team in the country that can run a high-low any better than Illinois with Smith and Cook, because both of them can step out and make an outside shot. Good job by Smith.
They said contact, however, and that will send Radinovich to the line. They call it on Smith.
Wow, that looked like a good block to me.
Boy.
Bill Self as well as a little red-faced on that one.
Also the 7th team foul, so 1-on-1 in coming situations for Ohio State as Jenkins is back in, Williams out.
Radinovich, who had a very serious injury to his finger, missed 2 games mid-season. See, still has a little tape there on it.
Jenkins coming in with 2 Illinois players defending. Radinovich.
Oh,
That's got to go the other way. They're calling it on Radinovich.
Wow, I didn't like that call at all. Radinovich had 2 hands on the ball. He's doing a good job inside, battling against 2 people. So look at this right here. He's got 2 hands on the ball, and he gets called for the foul. Are you kidding me? Didn't like that call at all.
Got hit right in the face. So Cook at the other end.
Normally a guy gets called for the push with one hand, going for the ball with the other, but Radinovich, without question, 2 hands right on the ball.
Hits the front end of the 1-on-1.
Let's take a look at this. There he is, going up, 2 hands on the ball, no question. He's the one that got fouled.
Maybe they're just calling a late whistle a little over the shoulder there of Cook. That's the only thing you could say, but it was called long after that. 2 for 2 by Cook.
Good idea for Ohio State to set screens on Brown to try to free up Darby. By setting that screen, that gets Brown on the switch. Darby able to go up against a big man.
Radinovich splits the defenders, blocked partially by Smith. D. Brown comes flying out with it. Snaps it over to Cook. Top of the key 3. And Ohio State with only 18 points on the board. Down 8. Missing its last 7 shots, make it 8.
Darby tried to adjust the shot, thinking Smith was going to come over for the block. As T. Brown pushing up the court about as fast as anybody, other than maybe T.J. Ford of Texas.
And over the back, Sylvester.
No question on that call.
With the conclusion of this game, we will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. Chevrolet makes a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund, a tradition for 30 years. You talk about how fast D. Brown pushes it up the floor. I haven't seen a guy come into the college game with that kind of quickness, Billy, since we saw Allen Iverson at Georgetown.
I would agree. T.J. Ford of Texas with the ball is at least that fast and has a little bit more experience and is
Jenkins. And
is he all right?
His head
he really took a smack on that floor.
Just came straight down on his back, and he's called for traveling to make matters worse.
Well, he had the ball in his possession before he goes down. Wow. And they're going to call it traveling as he had possession of the ball and then took it down.
He's just fine. Stays on the floor.
Back to the zone defense. Harrington's in the game. He's got to be smelling an open spot. And there he is.
Harrington off this time. Cooks over the back. And that'll be Radinovich at the other end, 1-on-1.
And he's saying, about time I get a break.
So you're saying you think T.J. Ford is just as quick as Brown?
Yes, I do.
Okay. But how would you say when you remember Iverson coming on the scene in college basketball compared with that?
Well, you know, I'm going to give the edge to Iverson because not only could he move it up there quickly, I don't know if we've ever seen a man his size that could finish the way that he did, and still does.
Just that pure speed is all I was that.
Yep.
Offensively, Iverson came in with so much. And one more for Radinovich. You know, this Illinois team, this is the 6th year of the Big Ten tournament. It's never failed to make it to at least the semifinals, 6-0 in the quarterfinals. And this is the third championship appearance, 99, 2000.
Well, you know what saved them, Jim? They were never the #1 seed.
4 out of 6 years, the 1 seed goes out, including Wisconsin the last 2 years.
Unbelievable.
In the first game. Zach Williams is the shooter.
Jim, you mentioned Duke before winning that championship today. Can you imagine in a league as competitive as the ACC, and people even talked about top-heavy, of winning the postseason conference tournament 5 years in a row? That is an incredible accomplishment. Figuring, you know, it's a one-and-done tournament. It's not like you say, well, you won the regular season 5 years in a row. That'd be hard as well. But to win the tournament where any one game over 5 years would have put you out is really something. And you can see, for those of you who watched any portion of that game, the satisfaction on Mike Krzyzewski's face, knowing this is such a young team.
The team that felt it was far better than it performed at the end of the year with losses to St. John's and North Carolina. We saw both of those.
There's a zone, and Brown trying to go right down in the middle of the strength of the zone.
O'Connelly collides with Harrington. Lob Jenkins under the basket. He's pinned. Here comes D. Brown.
I didn't think that was a very good idea by Darby. He had the numbers. He could have made a much easier play. Well, Ohio State changing defenses. Back to man-to-man now. And this man-to-man's going to wear them down a little bit.
Smith, two-point shot.
He can make that shot. That's why I say the high-low with Smith and Cook. Probably as good a personnel to run it with that kind of size as anybody in the country.
8-point lead. That's the largest of the day. Jernigan in for Ohio State. No Ohio State field goal for 4 minutes.
Jernigan had 13 points against Illinois in their meeting in the regular season. Nice.
Side at Smith influencing that one. He got a hand on it.
Now Smith has got to be wearing down a little bit. He has been giving tremendous minutes here for Illinois. Boy, he's pushing inside.
Zach Williams and Cook battling for it, and it's off the fingertips of Cook. Timeout on the floor. It'll be Ohio State ball when we come back. Buckeyes shooting only 28% from the field, and Illinois leads 28-20. Get our Big Ten memories presented by Intel. March of '99 in the Big Ten, the Ohio State Buckeyes meeting St. John's in the South Regional Final. Knoxville, Tennessee was the site. Scooney Penn and Michael Redd combined for 42 points. Little strip here of Eric Barkley as Ohio State goes on to win it. 77-74 as Jim O'Brien takes the Buckeyes to the Final Four for the first time since 1968.
Well, that's the way he was dancing yesterday with John Bassett. That jump shot.
Right.
Man, he was. I think he was more shocked yesterday at that foul shot than he was getting to the Final Four.
I hope we'll have an appearance today by Charles Bass, the talk of Chicago.
Young man from the area.
That's right.
Great welcome back home.
Said he expected some 30 or 40 friends here today after that one. Darby off the mark, pulled down by Luther Head.
Brown giving Darby trouble on that dribble, and Darby's trying now to use his upper body to bang him out of the way. It's about as much man-to-man as I've seen Ohio State play in a while.
And then a hold on Darby, his second.
Yesterday, Ohio State primarily in the zone and in the box and one.
Coming up, singular at the half, Greg Clark, Billy Raftery. We'll all get you caught up on today's scores and highlights and a closer inspection of the tournament selection process. We'll have the latest coming up on Singular at the Half.
Jim, when you think about Darby, what he does and what's required of him offensively as being so much a part of this, leading the Big Ten in minutes played at 37.9 minutes. I mean, basically not coming out of any game. He can't afford to get in foul trouble for this team. He's got to have the ball in his hands, and he's got to guard people. That's incredible.
His season low minutes was 31 in a game against Pittsburgh, and that was his low. 31 of 40. Oklahoma got it in cruise today, up 20 Connolly off on the 3, tipped out. Ohio State should keep it. Jernigan. Oh, he was on the line. It'll be Illinois ball.
Powell again, another great hustle play on his part.
Ohio State has missed its last 12 shots. I mentioned Pittsburgh. This Ohio State team at the beginning of the year, its first 4 losses, Billy, were to teams that would at some point during the season be ranked number 1 or 2 in the nation.
That's right.
They lost to
Alabama, Duke,
Pittsburgh, and Louisville, which climbed as high as number 2. Their first 4 losses with big-time quality teams. Powell muscles his way to the basket. Uh-oh, Jernigan with a little shove, and he's right away, and rightfully so, hit with the tee.
Now, it's 32-20. There's going to be a technical foul here. Jernigan tough. He felt he got hit in the back of the head, but you can never retaliate inside. We'll see it right here.
Yeah. He feels like he was dragged down by Cook.
No question by the official. Jernigan, strong young man, but you cannot let your temper get away from you here. Are they calling one both ways or just in one direction?
I just saw it on Jernigan.
Yep, Cook will go to the line.
That's his first personal 10-team foul.
Chance to really open up a margin here going into halftime for Illinois.
Cook usually so solid at the line, missing that one.
Young man was second team All Big Ten as a sophomore, third team last year, and obviously player of the year this year, and co-rookie of the year as a freshman.
Made the all-tournament team, Big Ten tournament as a freshman.
Yes, he did. Played extremely well in the Big Ten tournament.
So Illinois gets to keep possession after the technical on Imanti Jernigan. Under 2 minutes to play in the half, and Illinois now on a run here. Over the backboard, Ohio State ball. It's a 7-0 Illinois run with its biggest lead at 13. Here you see 12 straight misses.
Darby tried to fake a foul there and eventually picks one up against Powell, who's laying on the floor.
You can get exclusive analysis throughout the tournament from top coaches, including Sampson, Katie, Few, Jarvis, as they go inside the brackets behind the scenes at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online. Enter the keyword CBS Sportsline. I was checking that site this morning to see what the bracketologists were forecasting for later today.
Whole new profession, I think, that's been developed.
I went to see a bracketologist the other day.
I won't go there with that one.
Told me to turn my head. We do have all kinds of new terms for this tournament, don't we?
Would
you call yourself a qualified bracketologist?
No,
your Sweet 16 pick?
I would defer to you, Jim. You know, Darby, we talked about him. We were talking about Duke before. Darby in that game, in that Big East, the ACC Big Ten playout, had 35 against Duke. Again, changing that defense a little bit. Darby stepped out, dropping back in a man-to-man. It looks like they were going to go to a little half-court trap.
Timeout, Illinois. 1:21 to go in the half. Illinois has certainly controlled the tempo here. Leads by 11.
Hey, Bob. You get a new haircut?
No.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
Did you lose weight?
Your jacket been on?
Nope. What's different? He finally asked his doctor about Viagra. Ready to ask your doctor about Viagra for the first time? Find out if a free sample is right for you. To learn more, visit Viagra.com.
Called the sitter, walked the dog, and I saw the doctor.
Ask your doctor and see the difference.
Well, Jim, when you take a look at this team right here, Georgia, not only strength of schedule, but also from a standpoint of their RPI, it's a shame that those young guys that played on that team won't get an opportunity to be in this year's NCAA tournament.
And that was the RPI coming into today. One thing I love about Selection Sunday, after today, the RPI may RIP. We don't have to deal with that anymore. It gets so much attention. The committee's tried to downplay it this year, saying people are paying too much attention.
It's 5-on-4 now because Cook went over the bench of Ohio State.
Darby jumper.
And Darby takes advantage. Cook never crossed half court on that possession. He was stuck behind the Ohio State bench.
Broke a 6-minute, 52-second dry spell from the field.
Smart play by Darby, recognizing what was going on behind him. Getting a high-low action. Smith doesn't look inside.
Head with a 3. Yes, he hit one yesterday right at the end of the half. And a timeout, Ohio State.
And Head followed through with that shot all the way back to half court. He and Powell, when you see everybody healthy on this Illinois team, they are extremely deep.
And now our Applebee's hometown favorites, March of '89, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Midwest Regional Final. It's Illinois and Syracuse. Kenny Battle led Illinois with 26. Kendall Gill coming in here and dunking it home as Illinois beats Syracuse 89-86 to advance to Seattle and the Final Four.
Where they played a team they had beaten twice in the regular season that year.
But not a third time.
That's right, and they lost the third time. We're talking about Michigan that went on to win the national championship behind Glenn Rice, who had one of the great runs in NCAA tournament history.
I'm going to put Illinois, Billy, in today's brackets in the Midwest, and I say they go to Indianapolis the first week. That is a 2-hour drive. They're closer, actually, on campus. They're closer to Indianapolis than they are to Chicago. That would mean Indianapolis, and the Midwest Regional is in Minneapolis. In that combo, that road to the Final Four was the exact same road they navigated to Seattle in '89. They went Indy, Minneapolis, Final Four. I think that will be the first 2 stops for them this year, with New Orleans possibly the third leg. It is the site, New Orleans. Will Illinois be there? They can make a run.
So that means you have Rick Pitino in New Orleans, because that's where he's been successful.
Yeah, he's taken 2 different teams there to New Orleans.
Right.
7 seconds in the half. Darby pass Brown. And outside, they call the foul. Again, these are our picks. We put them together last night.
Looks like that Oklahoma decision working out fairly well what they did today, as well as the Duke decision, because we had to make a pick before they played.
And we got Pittsburgh the #1 in the East, and I figure after 20 years of directing the Final Four, Bob Fishman should have a say-so in this, and he was the one that really said, you guys have got to put Pittsburgh as the 1 in the East. We were kind of hard to convince on that one.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive win by Pittsburgh against a Connecticut team that just looked so great against Syracuse just the night before. Darby showing again on that drive, Jim, just how powerful he is with that upper body strength. We ought to point out again that Ohio State has an opportunity. That's what this NCAA tournament's all about. They have an opportunity to earn their way there.
Darby at the buzzer. Jenkins put him back. And you're right. They must come up with a big second half, though, Billy.
They really do.
Ohio State, again, must win here today to make the tournament field. They're down 11 at the intermission. Let's go back to New York. Here's Greg Gumbel. Greg?
Jim and Billy, thank you. Coming up on Singular at the Half, Kellogg, Bill Raftery, and I will have the latest tournament news and a couple coaches take us inside the selection process. It's next after this message and a word from your local station.
Hey, Smith, you get a raise?
No, I got an Optima. Introducing the Kia Optima midsize sedan.
Smith got a raise and options.
With available V6.
VP?
10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
Smith taking over.
Smith. And a starting price under $16,000.
Watch your back, Smith.
Smith Worldwide.
It'll just look like you got a raise. The Kia Optima. Right now, get 0% financing or up to $2,000 cash back.
It's the NCAA tournament site with live scores, updated brackets, and insight from the top coaches. CBSSportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline.
Paul Sorvino, Olympia Dukakis, Mafia Doctor, CBS Tonight. David, slow down. This is definitely the wrong road. Will you turn up the heat? We're gonna get lost like last time. Now I'm boiling back here, just in case you're interested. We should have been there an hour ago. You never should have married him. Why are you stopping? Where are you going?
Ford Explorer with a folding third-row seat that disappears, which at times can come in pretty handy.
David, check the map. We're still on the wrong road.
Get an Explorer with 0% for 60 months or $2,500 cash back.
Come on, Joey, let's have some of Grandma's old recipe ice cream.
Wow, it sure looks good.
It is, Joey. There's a whole world of wonderful flavors in her old recipe ice cream. It starts with fresh cream and cane sugar, then in go all kinds of other great-tasting treats.
Gosh, did Grandma make it herself?
Of course not, Joey. She goes to the store and buys it like everybody else.
Taste the premium quality of old recipe ice cream from Prairie Farms.
Yeah, DQ's new grill burgers, like the mushroom Swiss, are really big, which got us to thinking, how about a really big fry to go with them?
Here's your big fry.
Maybe not. The mushroom Swiss, one of 6 new grill burgers that puts a big quarter-pound patty on a butter-toasted bun. Do one, and DQ something different.
Robert Reese and 3 News, celebrating 50 years in Central Illinois. CBA Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular Wireless.
Hi once again, everyone. Greg Gumbel with you in our New York studios. Welcome to Singular at the Half. Ohio State's bid to repeat as Big Ten tournament champion is looking a little tough right now. Illinois with a lead 36-25. I'm with Clark Kellogg and Bill Raftery, and as you have pointed out, you gracious Buckeye in so many ways in the first half. The Buckeyes are just up against a really good basketball team.
They really are. They're overmatched. When you look at the balance that Illinois gets inside and outside, Brent Darby trying to carry the load, but I think it's just too much for him to be able to handle here today.
Tough working with a despondent Buckeye. It's a struggle. This is a very talented team, big team, Illinois.
Yeah.
Defensively, they've gotten better. They have so many answers. They're a dangerous team.
Yes, they are, Bill.
Tournament time.
No question about it.
All right, we're going to check out action elsewhere. The Big 12 championship game in Dallas. Missouri and Oklahoma. Missouri's Ricky Clemens with a 3 to cut the Oklahoma lead to 7.
Then Hollis Price, the little big man, getting it done from behind the three-point line. It's a 9-point Oklahoma lead. They would continue to bury threes. They made 7 of those from behind the arc in the first half, and at that point led 34-16, but they've gone over 8 minutes now, Greg, without scoring the ball.
And the Missouri Tigers have pulled to within 11. It's 46-35, coming up on 8.5 to play in the second half. The SEC title game in New Orleans, Mississippi State, Kentucky. Keith Bogan's drives, fakes his man, hits for 2.
Mississippi State's Winston Frazier knocking down the deep shot to cut the Kentucky lead to 56-55. What a chance, Greg.
And then Kentucky responds.
How about Estelle? The ability to get in the lane, and then the dipper, Figaro, for those of you that are my age.
Championship for the Kentucky Wildcats. The final 64-57. The Bulldogs go down. And then NC State and Duke in the ACC championship game. Josh Powell, number 24 points of the game on that jumper.
What a terrific comeback by the Blue Devils, trailed by 15 midway through the second half. Dante Jones gives them a 3-point lead, and J.J. Redick had it going. He went for 30-18 in the last 8 minutes, and Duke with the remarkable comeback win.
23 in all in the second half. The Blue Devils win the ACC title game 84-77. Earlier in our Singular fan poll, we asked who should be the National Player of the Year. You responded thusly. Keep watching for more Singular Wireless fan poll questions. From within its meeting room in Indianapolis, the selection committee is finalizing the brackets as we draw closer to the moment when the results of the committee's deliberations will be revealed. You will see it exclusively here on CBS at 6 p.m. Eastern this evening on the NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show. As fans from all walks of life get ready for March Madness, they naturally have some questions about how the selection process works. So we asked some prominent coaches to help everyone get into the swing of things.
So, Coach, who's on this little entry list in this tournament of yours?
It's not just an entry list, it's a field. And it's not just any tournament, it's the NCAA tournament.
Hey, Coach, who's in this field anyway?
65 teams, 31 conference and tournament champions, plus 34 at-large bids.
Coach, aren't there a lot of old-timers still out there?
Come on, Ted. You know better. We prefer the word experienced.
So, Coach, what happens after 65 teams are selected?
First, the committee seeds the teams 1 through 65.
Then the teams will be placed in a region with the committee stopping after the first 16 teams.
Remember, the main goal, take care of Texas.
The main goal is to achieve balance in all 4 regions.
A school that hosts a site can't play at that site.
Conference rivals can't meet until the regional final.
So tell me, Coach, is your name really Tubby?
Yep, that it is. But I've been called worse.
Coach, I hate to ask you this, but am I going to have to travel to see my favorite team?
Well, maybe. But the committee will assign the top 4 teams in each region to a site with an emphasis on the most geographically compatible site there is.
So, Coach, who is the Golden Boy?
Oscar, we'll find that out on Monday, April 7th.
Well, you coaches are just Olivier in waiting, aren't you?
Waiting for their Oscar, particularly Bayheim.
We've been
without moaning either.
We've been batting around this whole thing about #1 seeds. Let's take a look at how #1 seeds have fared the last 5 years. Not too bad for national champions.
That's why people clamor for that #1 seed spot. It typically is the easiest way to get to the Final Four and win a championship. And even though there's a lot of parity, you typically end up with the #1 seed winning the title.
And 20-0 in the first round. I mean, that is awesome, as they would say.
And Pitt coach Ben Howland did say, you know, one of these days that number 16 is going to knock off at #1. Here's how they've fared down since 1985.
Well, you take a look. I really think this year you could have some of the 13 and 14 seeds, teams like a Holy Cross, Weber State, maybe a Pennsylvania out of the Ivy League. I think these teams have a chance maybe to surprise, not because the 4 and 3 seeds are weak, but because those teams, I think, are much better than in past years.
And don't forget Manhattan. They may have a shot
That's
up
right,
there,
good
but
call.
also Vermont. Tommy Brennan. First year coaching was at Seton Hall. He brought it all with him.
All right, guys.
Vermont in the NCAA.
The time
Probably didn't
draws
listen.
ever closer. Thanks for watching. Singular at that. Coming up, Dan Rather and CBS News will have a special report on the situation in Iraq. And then Jim and Billy are back with the second half of Ohio State and Illinois.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular Wireless.
I pull for the underdog. I yell at the coaches, blast the refs. I pray, curse, cry. I will drop down on my knees and beg for a three-pointer from half court.
You're going to love the Singular NCAA text package. Only Singular provides interactive voting during NCAA men's tournament broadcasts and sports alerts. Get all this, plus unlimited text messaging for only $2.99 a month.
I call it the Hank Fowler. Yeah, baby. Plan.
Go to singular.com/NCAA or visit your Singular store now to find out why Singular fits you best.
Hey, Smith, you get a raise?
No, I got an Optima. Introducing the Kia Optima midsize sedan.
Smith got a raise and options.
With available V6,
VP?
10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
Smith taking over.
Smith. And a starting price under $16,000.
Watch your back, Smith.
Smith Worldwide.
It'll just look like you got a raise. The Kia Optima. Right now, get 0% financing or up to $2,000 cash back.
We've discovered a gene that controls the growth of plant leaves. It may have some spin-offs for improved crop productivity. TMM is a leucine-rich repeat receptor-like protein. It has no cytoplasmic domain, a transmembrane domain, and an extracellular domain that may interact with another LRR protein, this one a kinase. When they bind, I just love this stuff.
From CBS News World Headquarters in New York, Dan Rather with an update of the showdown with Saddam. Ending an Azores summit with Britain and Spain, President Bush said tomorrow is a, quote, moment of truth. for a UN ultimatum on Iraq.
Tomorrow is the day that we will determine whether or not diplomacy can work.
CBS News has been told the president could address the nation as early as tomorrow evening. In other headlines, Saddam Hussein said it's a great lie that he has banned weapons. He vowed to fight the U.S. anywhere in the world. Secretary of State Colin Powell suggested journalists and others should leave Baghdad. Germany told its citizens to leave Iraq immediately, and the UN flew most of its arms inspection helicopters out of Iraq. From CBS News, Dan Rather in New York.
By Intel is sponsored by Intel Centrino Mobile Technology, laptop technology designed to unwire your life. Right, obey your thirst. And by Pontiac, fuel for the soul.
Well, this powerful Illinois team got off to a bit of a slow start. Some threes from the outside by Connolly for Ohio State. Cook was denied. He missed his first 4 shots. Bill Self said, come on, let's go. Howell made a difference early. Ohio State started to lose the magic midway through that half as Illinois started to pull away a bit. Darby trying his best, leading the way with 12, but Illinois with outside help from Harrington. Cook, yep, that's the only shot from the field he has hit. He's got 8 points overall, with most of his living coming at the line.
Jim, here we see Illinois going against the Ohio State zone. Augustine posts up down in low, and then they go right over the top of the zone as Augustine holds his position well. Perfect pass from Brown, and in traffic, a good layup.
Illinois, how about this? This says something about this team that finished second in the regular season in the Big Ten to Wisconsin, but led the conference in field goal percentage and field goal percentage defense. Quite a combo.
Jim, how about this for a stat? In the game that they beat Ohio State earlier this year, they held Ohio State 8 for 34 in the first half shooting. Today, 8 for 31 is Ohio State shooting only 25%.
Well, that one meeting, it was Ohio State trailing at halftime by 27. Buckeyes down 11 today. Illinois looking for its first ever Big Ten tournament title.
And they were up 27 and got that to 32 in the second half before Ohio State made a run on them.
And the final margin was 19 in the game in Champaign. Aaron Williams gets the pick, goes back out Brown.
And believe me, all of this tough man-to-man that Ohio State's had to play is going to wear this team down.
Cook with his second field goal of the game, now with 10 points.
This is the 4th game in 4 days. They are primarily a zone team today. They're playing a lot of man-to-man, and I think it's going to tell on them.
Knocked out by Williams. How about Illinois in this tournament? First it was Northwestern, then Indiana yesterday, and now Ohio State. The Illini has trailed for a total of 23 seconds in 2.5 games.
They've been totally dominating out here. And, Jim, I don't think there's any question. Watching the conference throughout the course of the year and this tournament, Illinois is the best team. I realize that Wisconsin won the regular season, but I think that Illinois is the best team. And I think right now, with everybody healthy, for probably the first time this year, this Illinois team can play against a lot of people in that top 10.
An Illinois team, first ever in school history to open the year with 3 freshman starters. They still, as the season moved on, 3 freshmen, but that big senior presence of Brian Cook as the shot falls for Ohio State and Sylvester's first 2 of the game.
Well, they also opened up 8-0, not losing until they played at Memphis. And in that list of wins there was a win against North Carolina, a team that was undefeated going to Illinois, having won the preseason NIT.
Cook, 3-point shot. Yes. His second 3 of the game.
He looks so comfortable out there, doesn't he? He has terrific range.
Effortless might be the word.
Yep, and right now, if you are Ohio State, you have got to get some baskets. This game could get ugly.
Rudinovich tries the pass over to Williams. Last touch by Darren Williams. Looking for Zach Williams.
I really do feel that fatigue is now going to start setting in. Again, because having to play so much man-to-man in the first half, and with this margin where it is, and that deep bench that Illinois has, you can see the shot's not there. Conley, no elevation on the jump shot. The bench for Illinois outscored Ohio State 15-4 in that first half.
Howell spinning over Sylvester for the 2.
I'd say timeout Ohio State. They're going to have to use them all just to calm his team down.
Powell with 11, and Illinois heads to the sideline with the Ohio State timeout. Illinois now with its largest lead of the championship game. It's a 16-point lead.
Going under the basket, up, far side.
Go to ncaasports.com/Pontiac today and pick your ultimate Pontiac high-performance plays. You can also enter for a chance to win a 2004 NCAA Men's Final Four fantasy package.
Only in college basketball.
Why do I work so hard? So I can play even harder. What's my thirst? Staying on top. What's yours? I love my job.
Why do we rent from Enterprise? Because having the right car makes all the difference.
Grandma, look, they're here. Hi, Grandma.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. And now, enter the Enterprise Family Reunion Sweepstakes for your chance to win an incredible family reunion for up to 100 family members at any SeaWorld or Busch Gardens. To enter the Family Reunion Sweepstakes, log on to enterprise.com now. They fought all season for this moment. CBS reveals the 65 teams that will make their move to March Madness, the NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show, tonight on CBS.
Well, there you see it, Jim. 1 hour, 14 minutes, 56 100 seconds. Is that what that is?
Till dinner?
Yeah.
Till the selection show here on CBS. The exclusive live announcement here. We'll have it first. We'll have it exclusively right here. 6 o'clock Eastern. Zurdinovich backing in, gets past Augustine. And a foul on Illinois.
Jim, we have an incident right here now with Ohio State. Williams, at that break, went after one of the assistant coaches.
Here it is.
And Jim O'Brien has banned him from the bench and sent him to the locker room. That was not an argument among Illinois players in Ohio State. That was Williams and an assistant coach. And Jim O'Brien very disappointed in his attitude and sent him to the locker room. So that really weakens Ohio State even more, particularly in the front line. And Jim O'Brien is the kind of guy that would put up with no nonsense. And one of the reasons that he moved from Boston College to Ohio State was the nonsense that he was not going to put up with at Boston College. He sent over some disenchanted guys at Ohio State. Remember, he went from last to first.
He went from 8-22 his first year at Ohio State to the Final Four just a few years later. Well, he's not going to tolerate any of that talk back, and Zach Williams' tournament is over, it looks like. Howell, another good move. Now with 13 to lead the Illini.
Just superior forces out here. Clark Kellogg said it. Even though it is his alma mater in Ohio State, he realizes, and I think it is very obvious, Illinois is the far superior team.
Darby will head to the line for 2. Live telecasts of NCAA men's tournament games are available online and on demand over the internet. To find out more, go to ncaasports.com.
Brent Darby this year, preseason All Big Ten, made second team as the season went on. And again, I think that is strictly due to the fact that his club did not have the success. There's no question he's one of the best 5 players in the league.
One thing you can count on, he'll be all-tournament team for the 2nd straight year here at the Big Ten. He made it last year in leading the Buckeyes to the title. And here they opened up on Thursday as Missouri's tightening things with Oklahoma. Is now a 4-point game in the second half.
Well, last year he made all-tournament as well with Boban Savovich, who was the MVP, and Brian Brown. So they had 3 fellas on that first team all-tournament when they won it in 2002. And Darby trying to get his guys fired up. No quitting that young man.
Darby hit the game winner on Thursday in the closing seconds against Iowa. Iowa had a great run of success in the Big Ten tournament.
And thought he was going to be shooting the free throws for the winner yesterday.
Augustine.
There we have, over the top, the high-low.
Good patience, too.
Illinois got great play out of Smith in the first half. Now Augustine back in there, and they go back to the same technique.
Sylvester 3. Augustine slaps it over to Brown up ahead. Powell can't find the handle. Last touch by Ohio State.
Sylvester got a piece, did a good job getting back. You can see right now the Ohio State players realize that Illinois is looking to go for the kill. So if you're Darby, you want to slow down the tempo as best you can. 2-3 zone in the out-of-bounds situation.
Powell, three-point shot. He is hot.
He's a player.
It's a 20-point lead.
Again, I really think that Powell and Head, both back healthy now, make this team so much better.
They are fully loaded for the tournament. Brown with a steal. 22-point lead. His first 2 points of the game.
There's not much Ohio State's going to be able to do about this either, Jim. The crowd is into it. They're on their feet. Jim O'Brien wants a timeout, about all he can do.
Illinois has hit 7 straight shots from the field to break this open at the Big Ten. For the second half, which Big Ten team will advance the deepest in the tournament? Well, I think right now, if you voted for anyone other than Illinois, although, let's remember, Indiana was a 5 seed last year, made it to the finals. Singular wireless users send vote to 171 or log on to cbssportsline.com/singular, and we'll have results later in the half. Darby with 3-point shot. Jenkins was way up there, but mistimed it. The rebound over to Sylvester, banks it home.
Big basket there. Jim O'Brien trying to do everything he can to slow down this onslaught by Illinois, using his timeout wisely. No sense saving him. The push
on Sylvester.
Jim, you start talking about the Big Ten situation. We're going to get back in regard to how well they've done in the NCAA tournament since they've gone to a Big Ten tournament.
It's a pronounced difference since they went to the tournament. We'll be right back with that.
Illini off the box goal. He was blessed. The shot wouldn't drop. Hamilton! No! Another tip! No! Hamilton! Off the box!
Unbelievable. Catch celebrity judge Leanne Rimes on a Star Search finale, CBS Wednesday after Survivor.
Severe weather can strike any time. Did you know more people lose their lives when it hits late at night? The reason? Many homes aren't equipped with a weather alert radio. This direct link to the National Weather Service is the same information the Forecast Center 3 team uses. Now you can protect your family and get instant weather alerts whenever they happen, 24 hours a day. Stay ahead of severe weather by joining the Channel 3, IGA, and Tatman's Collision Repair's Weather Alert Team. Visit your participating Central Illinois IGA and pick up a NOAA weather radio at a special discount. When severe weather threatens, you'll be alerted. Then turn to the Forecast Center 3 team for the most accurate weather coverage in Central Illinois. Plus, you can help keep your community safe. For every 20 radios purchased, we'll donate one to a local school. Keeping you and your family safe from the storm whenever it may come. Weather Alert from Channel 3.
Your local Ford store presents the return of the dynamic duo. Check out the Ford Focus, one of Car and Driver's 10 best 4 straight years, now $199 a month with no down payment. Plus, pick up a Focus with the exclusive Wheels and Tunes package and a 100,000-mile extended service plan. Or investigate the exciting Ford ZX2 with 0% financing or $3,000 cash back. 2 dynamic cars and 2 dynamic deals. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Matt Metcalf and 3 News celebrating 50 years in Central Illinois.
Back here on Selection Sunday on CBS with Illinois. The Illinois Express right now up 20 in the second half.
It's that same lob pass, and that's going to be on Cheatham.
He tried to go inside to Powell. That is, we've seen that the last 2 days work so effectively.
Well, what's amazing is you've got Powell that can run the play. We saw Cook run the play yesterday, and we saw Head earlier in the ball game have a chance to finish. That would have been an easy basket for Powell had he not been fouled.
Augustine outside shot.
Good block out.
Who's Cheatham? He's got Radinovich on the left wing. Back outside, stolen away by Brown. Behind the back he goes, and the follow-up by Darren Williams.
Freshman to freshman, pretty good assist. You cannot throw that soft pass when Brown is guarding the man that you're trying to throw it to. He is so quick.
He's picked off 2 here in the last couple of minutes.
And what Darby needs are solid screens to get him off him.
Fade away by Darby.
Quite a shot there. But I think when you've got a guy like Brown who's so quick, Brown acknowledges Darby making that shot, gave him a little tap.
Brown back quickness again, lays it in.
So fast. Oh, he and Darby are doing a little talking to each other now. Maybe that wasn't a love tap before.
Connolly comes off a screen. 3-point shot, ball to the rim and in. His 3rd 3-pointer of the game.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, Connolly did not play against Illinois in the first game. No wonder they weren't beaten worse in that game, losing 2 starters.
They don't have much depth.
This game is getting a little physical right now, Jim.
They really have no depth, and with Radinovich, the other starter out, that's why I say you got to throw everything out from that first game. But Illinois with a similar type performance.
Yeah, we got a problem in this game. Now, these guys, the referees better pull them together in a hurry because both teams are starting to go after each other. That was Jenkins and Cook.
Called on Jenkins.
I think it's time for the referees to pull these guys together and say, hey, look, you've had a great run in this tournament. Let's keep it clean the rest of the way because there's a lot of mouthing going on now, a lot of pushing and shoving.
Luther Head back in for Illinois as well as Nick Smith.
Brown wanting to take Darby, isn't he?
He thought about it. He had Darby committed. Could have put up the jumper. Smith inside. Comes up short over Radinovich.
Nice defense by Radinovich. Kept his hands high, made Smith's shot very difficult.
Darby hacked on the outside.
There's where Darby has the advantage because of his strength.
We've got an update in New York. Let's go back there right away. Here's Greg Gumbel.
Jim and Billy, thank you. Tail end of Missouri-Oklahoma game, Big 12 championship. Ricky Paulding's shot fails to fall. Just tenths of a second left. Oklahoma added a free throw, and the Sooners have won the Big 12 championship, and they're bid to be a #1 seed, 49-47. Jim and Billy.
All right, thank you, Greg. Good stuff there. And what do you think? Is that a 1 seed for Oklahoma? We had them.
I think so.
Yep. But that was a big lead, 21 points right before the half, and Oklahoma had to withstand that late charge by Missouri.
Well, you start talking about dark horses, Jim. How about Missouri beats Kansas and then takes Oklahoma to the wire? Where are they going to be?
Well, you know, they made a run last year.
Absolutely. Quinn Snyder's been there before. He knows what a Final Four feels like. Playing days back at Duke and coaching there.
Got to think they'll be somewhere in that 8-9 territory, Missouri. I was reading the other day, we're 18 years in a row. We've had at least one or 2 seed go out the first weekend.
And that 15-2 has been a kind of a interesting slot.
Timeout called on the way out by Foose Cheatham. His only option. Illinois leading by 19 here in Chicago. As far as postseason conference tournament, but once they went to that conference tournament, we've seen the Big Ten really improve in the NCAAs.
Well, they have, Jim. They've had 6 different teams make it to the Final Four. They've won 66% of their NCAA tournament games, which with a record of 54 and 28. And what's really interesting, the 5 years prior to that, they were 26 and 26 in the NCAA, and only 2 teams made it to the Final Four. So this tournament has proved to be very successful for them.
Cook on the inside from Harrington. Radinovich had scored at the other end. Darby. And Jenkins was cutting through the lane and then commits the foul. You talk about all these Big Ten teams, and the last 4 years, Indiana to the championship game last year, Michigan State 3 straight years, 99 through 01, and a championship in 2000, Wisconsin, Ohio State.
What you like, too, Jim, it's not only the same 2 teams. Got 5 clubs there. Only 1 team in the Big Ten has never played in an NCAA tournament, and that's the team that hosted the very first one in 1939, Northwestern.
And in that very first one, Ohio State, right here, was in the finals against Oregon. Head with a 3.
Well, he wanted that one. Good-looking shot.
The Oregon Tall Furs in 1939 winning the championship in Evanston, Illinois over Ohio State, 45-33. And looky here. Here comes Charles Bass. Let's see if there's a little ovation for yesterday's hero.
Ohio State foul number 14.
Charles Bass. I'd like to see him go to the line one more time. We'll be right back.
Big Ten Conference Tournament presented by Intel is sponsored by Intel Centrino Mobile Technology, laptop technology designed to unwire your life. Scott's Turf Builder with Halts for a thick green lawn and no crabgrass guarantee. And by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Well, just yesterday, Charles Bass at the line, the game tied, 6 seconds go. First free throw attempt of his career, and he banks it home.
Now, he said to some of his teammates that he tried to also bank the second one, Jim. Do you believe that?
I don't know about that in either case.
He said he shoots them well in practice. We have seen guys with poor percentages that have a lot better form than what he showed there, but let's face it, in Ohio State history, it'll go down on one of the big free throws ever made.
Bass off the glass.
There's that high-low again.
And there he is, knocking it out of bounds. He was active yesterday when he came in after Radinovich fouled out. And there's Zach Williams returning to the Ohio State bench.
Well, I'm glad to see that. The young man plays hard. Just one of those unfortunate circumstances.
Charles Bass defending on Cook. Now tries to come over and help out. The lob almost went in.
Well, Brown's pass was a little bit too much of an accurate shot.
Darby frees himself. Too strong on the shot. And Cook with another rebound.
I think what Brown will have to do is take some lessons from Derek Wittenberg.
Cook.
There's that relaxed shot.
Boy, it looked good, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did.
Rattled out. Wittenberg knows how to put it right there over the rim.
Yeah, you gotta just make sure it's a little short, not quite so long.
And a foul called on Harrington.
And Jim, you said right at the top of the show, and we're certainly in agreement, for Ohio State, this was a must-win game. There was no NCAA tournament bubble riding whatsoever for this team. But they're playing against a superior club today who came to play.
Would have been a 5th consecutive. Connolly hits a 3, 5th consecutive trip to the NCAA, which the school record, they set it last year, the 4th straight appearance. Went out, beat Davidson in the first round before getting knocked off in round 2 by Missouri.
I don't know why Illinois doesn't take advantage of that high-low more often, particularly when they have Smith and Cook in the game.
Cook with Bass defending. And Foose Cheatham comes in.
See, Cook can get a much easier shot off than that going one-on-one against Bass.
Darby 3. That's back-to-back for the Buckeyes.
Well, Ohio State made a run when they were down 32 in that game in Champaign. Looks like this is the best run they've made, certainly in the second half.
You put Charlie Bass in and good things happen. Connolly and Darby, no give up in them. Less than an hour till the selection show, and our chief bracketologist, Dr. Packer. Last night we worked on our selections for the Sweet 16 picks.
How can you say that with a smile on your face? You know that I spend no time on the brackets.
Oh, you
are
did
the man.
last night.
Yeah, only because
right over a nice pork chop. You were working on it feverishly over at discus. Be interested to see how far off the mark we are. That's a hard thing to do.
Oh, great block by
Cheatham.
Conley.
And it was in there to Spruce Cheatham.
Oh, yeah, it was Cheatham. Another 3 would make it a little bit more interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're on an 11-2 run.
I don't think Williams can handle Darby off the dribble. Let's see if Darby recognizes that and keeps it on the floor. He gives it up. He wants it back, though. Darby wants it back.
Conley comes up short.
That was a bad move by Conley. He should have given it back to Darby. Conley thinks because of his size he can go over D. Brown, but I think the Brown's quick enough to stay with him.
Cook, all air on that. He had Radinovich and Bass in the area. Foul outside.
You know, this is a dangerous time, Jim, for a team that has played so well in Illinois. And the fact that you figure you got the game won, and they're getting away from the things that they've done so well. I want to point out about Illinois, in the last 8 games, here's what they've won by: 30, 12, 26, 3, 24, 29, and of course the 1-pointer yesterday. That's an average of 18 per game. Nobody other than Kentucky has had a run like that. And of course, their only loss in that stretch was at Wisconsin, where they lost by 1 point against the team that eventually won regular season.
At the buzzer, Radinovich had a good chance right there.
If I were Illinois, I'd go back to what they do so well. Here's one of the things, getting it down in low.
Bass with the rejection. He had 2 yesterday in his short time on the floor.
Hey, 4 games in 4 days. Ohio State's hanging in there, aren't they?
Not showing any signs of fatigue right now. With the second wind, and they try to get it over to Bass.
Well, there, you know, Darby realizes, and Bass is saying it's my fault, but Darby realizes Bass is now not the kind of guy who's going to catch that ball traffic. Just a freshman, but not ready for that pass.
No field goals for 4 minutes for Illinois. They've missed the last 9 attempts. And perfectly done there, Augustine to Smith.
Bill Self has to like that. They got right back to good basic half-court basketball.
Cheatham goes outside. Darby, they need this one. 3-pointer.
One of the few times today that Brown tried to help out. Now, he had no reason to help out because Cheatham, Jim, is going to drive but not look for shots. He's going to drive and look to kick out. Brown should have stayed with Darby.
Darby has 22. The lead is 12. 7.5 to play here. Big Ten championship presented by Intel.
Good job by Conley, beating Harrington to the spot.
They've also ramped it up on this end of the floor, big time. Ohio State, 7 seconds on the shot clock here for Illinois. Brown will challenge Bruce Cheatham on the run. And Bass.
Nice rebound.
High for the board.
Here comes Darby. Boy, it's relentless with this guy.
Oh, they're down to 9.
Relentless. They made a 14-0 run when they were down by 32 in Champaign. And this is an incredible run by this club.
From 22 to 9. If Ohio State doesn't win, I think, having been here for all the games this week, I think Brent Darby's been the MVP of this Big Ten tournament, win or lose today.
Wow, that hasn't ever happened before in this tournament, Jim, where the MVP came from a team that did not win the championship.
Look at him. He's got 25 today, 25 of their 51.
Well, I'll tell you, another time that happened in the NCAA tournament, you were talking about 1939. A guy named Jimmy Hall from Ohio State, not on the winning team, was the MVP of that Final Four. So there's a precedent for you involving Ohio State players.
22-point lead. It's down to 9. 6:40 remaining.
Little 2-man game. Cook.
And that will not put Augustine to the line. Well, they won't say that was an act of shooting, will they? Yes, they will. They'll say they'll give him 2 shots. CBS Monday, America's best night of television. Starts with the King of Queens, then Yes Dear. Everybody loves Raymond and still standing. And then the #1 news show on TV, CSI Miami. Plus the Late Show with David Letterman after your local news, all here on CBS Monday, America's Most Watched Network. Augustine with one more. Former high school quarterback, played football for his dad. His dad was his football coach.
Pretty big under center, wouldn't he be?
Oh, yeah. Didn't play his senior year. Wanted to concentrate on basketball. Here he is starting as a freshman at Illinois.
He's going to be a good one.
No question. 62-51. Be right back. Which Big Ten team will advance the deepest in the tournament? The results. Well, Illinois, no great shock there, but Indiana gaining some support. Keep watching for more Singular Wireless fan poll questions.
Jim, we talked about the great success that the Big Ten has had since they've gone to a tournament. In 95, they had 5 picks, 96, 5 picks, and 97, 5 picks, but they were 1-5, 2-5, and 3-5. That was the worst 3-year period in Big Ten history in NCAA play. But obviously they have done so well now that they've gone to a postseason tournament.
Timeout, Ohio State. I remember Minnesota making a little run in 97.
This conference has had 7 picks twice.
Be right back. CBS Sportsline stat of the game. Front court scoring. Illinois 43-12. Ohio State needed Clark Kellogg today. Bring him in for one more game. For the inside help, get complete game stats. CBSSportsline.com. America Online, enter the keyword CBS Sportsline.
I think with Clark Kellogg and Ken Johnson, they might be in the hunt.
You don't think Clark would have been enough? I think he would.
He was pretty good.
I have him down for at least 15, 16 points right now and 10 boards. Too strong, Darby.
Augustine really doing a nice job in there now, becoming a power factor.
Bass is still on the floor since he was inserted into the lineup for the first time today. 12-4, Ohio State. Over the top. Augustine, they give it up over to Cook. Little reset.
And this Ohio State team that played a lot of man-to-man defense. There's Cook with a patented shot. Augustine with another great rebound.
Rudinovich didn't look like he was ready to rebound there. He got all tangled up.
Augustine's got him in strength, quickness, and good set of hands. Bill Self wanting to put this game away, get his team back down to playing solid basketball.
Harrington, Darby fought through a pick to get out there to check him.
But does that Darby have some stamina or what?
Still going strong.
Harrington. And they kept rubbing Darby off the screens, and Harrington finally got enough room.
Got 9 points for the game. 3 threes.
Somebody doesn't have a man right now in his head.
Rudinovich underneath. And
another rebound by Augustine. He has basically controlled the glass here. This last 3 or 4 minutes, he's got 7.
Brown with the quickness, unable to finish. Darby.
Conley on the side looking for the 3.
Fade away, Darby. And Harrington inside.
Rudinovich on the foul, and he's tired now. That was just a tired foul. Jimmy couldn't get to the spot. Just pushed his man away. Here's Darby again. Great jump shot. Brown gets caught behind the screen. Then Brown decides, and I don't know why, to go inside on Cheatham. You know you better stay with Darby. Fine young player.
He has played the entire game today. Has not set for a second. 40 minutes against Iowa. 40 against Wisconsin, 38 in the game yesterday against Michigan State.
It only came out then because he got in a little foul trouble when they had a nice working margin, and Jim O'Brien didn't want to see him pick up that 3rd foul.
Yeah, he had 2 fouls actually in the first 2 minutes yesterday.
Hey, of course, with Michigan State's incredibly poor shooting in that first half, Jim O'Brien was afforded that luxury.
Missing the front end of the 1-and-1, Augustine. Darby tries the dipsy-do.
Another rebound by Augustine. Look at the strength that he's got.
Everybody kept waiting for some kind of whistle, but able to free himself.
9 rebounds now for Augustine.
And Illinois +9 in the rebounding category. Under 4 minutes to play. Comfortable 14-point lead.
That's something that we have not seen Brown do quite effectively, not in this tournament anyway. Hit that outside jumper.
Darby. And Radinovich with the offensive board. It's going on Illinois. How about Cook's play today, Billy?
Well, I think it's been very solid. He puts up very quiet numbers, not only from a standpoint of his shooting, rebounding, gets the block shots. When you take a look at what he's done so far today, 15 points, 6 rebounds. Not a sensational day, but he's had a very solid tournament.
And just hit with his 3rd foul. If they go with an Illinois player as the MVP, and of course they usually do that, go with the winning team. Is there anybody other? Powell has played great today, but it would have to be Cook.
Yeah, I think so when you take into consideration 3 games. You have Antonio, you have Mateen Cleaves that was an MVP, Robert Traylor, Bo Peterson, Reggie Evans, and Boban Sabovich were the MVPs in the 5 previous tournaments.
Ohio State's Darby leads all scorers with 25. It's a 12-point Illinois lead. 16 leading Illinois, and they're holding Ohio State to 33% from the field as we get closer here to the announcement. Any last-second substitutions you want to make? On
no, we're going to hang in there.
We're going to hang in there with your pick?
You know, and I think we got lucky today in regard to who won what games, you know, so now going to hang in there.
You just
often wrong, but never in doubt.
If Ohio State does, in fact, lose here and down... They are at 12 at the moment. You wonder the team that was the either-or with them right now. We were speculating at the top.
Maybe Southern Illinois.
I agree. Another timeout on the court. 3:21 left.
Cars with worn shocks can take 10 feet farther to stop. Next time you're in for tires or brakes, have your shocks checked as part of a Monroe Safety Triangle inspection. Monroe. Ride safe.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, they could be your neighbors. 1 out of 3 soldiers in the Gulf are weekend warriors. That story tonight on 60 Minutes. Then the biggest, fattest, newest comedy hit on television, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Becker, and Mafia Doctor, the CBS Sunday night movie here on America's Most Watched Network.
I really like what Bill Self has done with his ball club on that timeout. He got them back to locking in on how they want to play in a half-court set.
They've got 2 seconds on the shot clock. Harrington.
Oh, he got fouled.
Nope, they're saying shot clock violation. I thought they were going to call the foul also.
That was awful close. Official right on the play and was very emphatic in his call.
Under 3 minutes left. Every trip so critical now for Ohio State. Trying some way to make a trip to the tournament as Radinovich makes it a 10-point game.
How effective would Darby be if his only role was to penetrate and dish?
When he wants to pull up and score, he's not too bad either. 5 assists to go with his 25 points.
See, I think he'd even have more assists than a team in which he could go ahead and have confidence in everybody he throws it to.
Cook with Jenkins on his back, skips it over Harrington. He's been hot today, and it continues.
Good look by Cook. And Harrington is going to post up outside that three-point line and just be patient with a cross-court pass.
Darby.
Great fake.
Little head fake.
He gave the ball and the head fake, and Augustine was just kind of frozen in his tracks.
2 minutes left. 11-point lead for the Illini.
And it's spread now. Half-court trap. Cook has got to go ahead and take up the slack, get closer to the basket.
Brown free. Misses the layup. Tipped back out and into Connolly's hands.
He gets it back to Darby. Connolly's got to find a lot.
No whistle. Darby shot blocked by Luther Head. And Jim O'Brien is stomping mad.
Well, Jim O'Brien has to realize maybe they could have called the charge on Darby there, too. They're trying to pick up full court. If Cook will break to the foul line, he's going to be wide open, and he's just standing down where there's no passing lane. There's Augustine going to the foul line. He's wide open.
10 on the shot clock. Cook might as well take it now. Here he goes. Augustine with the easy putback.
That net is tangled up there. The official ought to stop it right now and get the net fixed, but he doesn't. The Illinois fans realizing how close they are to come to their first Big Ten tournament championship. 2 players down. Jenkins getting up very slowly here.
Illinois in no hurry with 43 seconds. A team that trailed for a grand total of 23 seconds this entire tournament. On its way to winning its first ever Big Ten tournament title.
Well, they had been in the finals twice, but never got to the championship themselves.
3 seconds on the shot clock. Augustine slams it down.
Great second half by Augustine, Jim.
His team has it all together now. Ready for a little March Madness run. Radinovich with the lay-in. And Ohio State will let him go. Next stop for Illinois, the NCAA tournament.
As a number 2 seed, where, Jim?
I don't know, but I'll tell you, whatever they are dangerous indeed. They are the Big Ten champions. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. Brett Darby from Ohio State. Roger Powell today from Illinois. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. Well, Illinois, mighty impressive indeed. They've got the youngsters, they've got the senior leadership, and now they are on the road to the NCAA tournament as the Big Ten champions. We'll be right back here on CBS in a moment.
Hey, guys, you want to go to McDonald's?
Okay. Okay, Papa.
I need a car. No, a convertible, a red one, with under 15,000 miles.
Autotrader.com. With 2 million new or used cars, you can find the one you really want. And with millions of shoppers, you can sell the one you already have. It's the ultimate automotive classified site. Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Okay, let's say this is your car and you get into an accident. Oh, boy. If you take it to an Allstate recommended repair shop, they'll fix it, so you're pretty happy. You're like, woo, I'm pretty happy. Even better, Allstate guarantees the workmanship for as long as you own the car, which means if even the smallest thing goes wrong, you don't have to pay for it. So you're still happy. You're like, woo, I'm still happy. So there you go, the Allstate Lifetime Repair Guarantee. Call for yourself and find out how the right hands make all the difference.
This is crabgrass. I don't want to see crabgrass in my lawn.
My wife actually hates crabgrass.
Nobody would want this in their lawn. We put down Scott's turf builder with Holtz in the early spring.
That's the only thing I ever use. Scott's puts this protective barrier over the lawn.
And it stops the crabgrass from germinating.
See how nice and thick that is?
Feels like the carpet inside my house. Well, I've used the cheap brands. And it's like anything else. You get what you pay for. Steve doesn't have any crabgrass, which makes him a good human being, basically. Turf builder with Holtz. The best defense against crabgrass.
You know, we're never in the same place at the same time.
No, not really.
So we need a plan that allows us to talk.
You know, as much as we want.
All the time, whenever we want.
And then no extra charge.
With Singular's Family Talk plan, call each other for free with unlimited mobile-to-mobile calling. Get 5,000 night and weekend minutes to share, up to 3 additional lines, and up to 4 free phones.
We call it the Conley Brothers.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up plan?
Come in and find out how Singular fits you best.
Welcome, everyone. The road to the Final Four. Greg Gumbel with you, along with Clark Kellogg and Bill Raftery. We have just completed the Big Ten championship game out in Chicago, where the Fighting Illini have knocked off a game but outmanned Ohio State team. The final score, 72-59. Let's take you back to the United Center in Chicago and rejoin Jim Nance and Billy Packer. Jim.
All right, thank you so much, Greg. And Bill, you talk about a team that seems like it's hitting on all cylinders. Could you be any happier with the way your team is playing right now as the Big Ten champions?
Well, I think we can play better, but certainly their effort and their defense has been great all year, and we're coming together. Those young guys are sophomores now, and you know, we got a great player, and if we just play to our potential, I think we've got a chance to do some damage.
Could you see this kind of performance coming into Chicago? You only trailed for 23 seconds the entire Big Ten tournament.
I didn't know that, but I thought we played well, because we played so well the last month, and these guys have really put together. You know, we lost a heartbreaker, Wisconsin. They responded well to that, and we're playing our best right now.
How long do you celebrate this? Because here in just a few minutes, you're going to find out the next stage to this season. What do you do with this win right here?
Well, the next stage is obviously most important, but this is huge for our program to win this. We haven't won this yet, and we're going to enjoy it at least for the next hour and a half. Then we'll get down to business.
I heard you took exception with Mr. Nance's put you in a second seed. What's the deal?
I think he's right. He should be on the committee.
2 or 3, does it matter to you?
Well, I think from an exposure standpoint and everything, you'd rather be a 2, but it all comes down to matchups. You guys know that.
All right, let me ask the senior over here. Brian, come on over here.
Great job, Brian. Really represented college basketball tremendous throughout your career.
Thank you. Great job.
To be a senior, to win the Big Ten tournament title, you think back to your freshman year, you were all Big Ten tournament, all team, but to close it out like this as far as the Big Ten goes, what does it mean to you?
Oh, man, it means a lot to me. We were definitely disappointed with the 1-point loss to Wisconsin, and then we just wanted to get this one. I think all the guys remember that and came out and played hard and, came out victorious.
You know, Billy and I talked on the air about how seniors sometimes can just take their team, put them on their back for the NCAA tournament. We talked about Juan Dixon last year, Shane Battier 2 years ago, and we talked about you possibly doing that for Illinois. What about that?
Well, I'm just going to come and play hard. I got a great team, great teammates. They get me the ball in the position to score, and I love these guys, and I got a great coach too. So, we're just trying to keep this rolling.
Brian, one of the things that is very obvious now, it seems like this is the first time all year your team has been totally healthy. This makes for a deep team and a team that comes at you with a lot of people. Now that Roger's playing in the starting lineup, what do you feel about the fact that your depth compared to some of the other teams you played for and against in the NCAA tournament?
Well, we definitely got a lot of guys that can play. Luther came back. He's healthy now, and he gave us a tremendous boost. And a lot of guys, Sean's coming off the bench shooting it. And
pop some threes today.
I mean, we got James and the big guys, Big Nick. And we just got to keep it rolling. We're happy. We got a lot of confidence, and we're just trying to go in with this in the March.
Well, we may see you down the road. Good luck, guys.
Great job.
There's a trophy waiting for you out there. Congratulations, the Illini, the Big Ten champions, with their performance here in Chicago. And right now, let's send it back to you, Greg Gumbel, in New York.
Hey, Shiny.
All right, Jim and Billy, we'll be talking with you a bit later during the selection show. There is your final, the Illini over Ohio State, 72-59. Check out some of the highlights of this game. Brian Cook, you just heard from him. Big 3 from the big man increases Illinois' lead to 14. And watch D. Brown come up with the steal. Length of the court for the bucket. Illinois' lead was 22.
And where would Ohio State be without Brent Darby? Brandon Foose Cheatham drives and finds. Converts, Illinois lead 60-48, but Darby, once again, what a great year he's had. Pulls up and knocks down the tray. Illinois cuts it to 9.
And then just when maybe Ohio State thought they were coming back, Sean Harrington uses a screen, hits the 3. Illinois' lead was 4. They went on to win it by a score of 72-59, and at 24-6, it's time to ask, How far can this Illinois team go in the upcoming tournament?
Well, they could get all the way to New Orleans. They're that good. They've got a player in Brian Cook who can carry a young team. They've got speed, they've got size, they've got depth, and they've got good momentum right now.
Leadership quality. I'm just so impressed how Brian Cook has turned out. Outstanding performer. Big thing is the guards. They got to value the ball and play great defense. That's what Bill Self is known for.
Yes,
and
sir.
by the way, I was about to say, Bill Self, both of you mentioned during this game, Illinois is a well-coached team.
They really are. He does a terrific job, and he really likes this team. I've been around him quite a bit this year, and he really loves what his team's potential is.
All right, guys, let's go to the Big 12 championship now down at Reunion Arena in Dallas. The Missouri Tigers took on Oklahoma. Oklahoma's Hollis Price pulls up, hits the three. Sooners lead was big early on.
And that was the last bucket for a long, long time, Greg. Missouri made a furious comeback. Arthur Johnson inside. The lead is 4. And then watch Trayvon Bryant knock down the three. The big fellow, 41% shooter from there.
Chance for Missouri to win the game. Ricky Paulding's shot will not fall, however. Oklahoma holds on. They win it 49-47. Let's hear from Ricky Paulding after the game.
We had some good looks at the end, and it just didn't go in. Ball just didn't go in our way tonight. And but I think our team, we overcame the deficit, and we had a last-second shot to win the game, and we missed it.
So there's your final score. Oklahoma 49, Missouri 47. Two aspects to this game. One, a very game and impressive Missouri Tiger team that made a terrific run through the tournament to get to the championship
Well,
game.
I know my partner here really likes Missouri as a team that could do some damage in the tournament. Those two teams met in the Elite Eight last year, so Missouri did a nice job coming back, I thought.
Oh, the two Rickies are really outstanding with their shooting, their handling the basketball. McKinney, too, another one, but Johnson, much like you, tough down inside.
And another issue, Oklahoma's inability to squeeze leads. There's a few times this year that's happened. It's got to be a concern for Calvin
that's what
Sampson.
I was going to ask. And, maybe the Oklahoma Sooners' inability to hold on to that lead may cost them down the road.
Yeah, very well could. And Hollis Price a little banged up. He's not a very big guy, so he takes a lot of punishment. And Oklahoma's inability really to consistently score inside makes it tougher to hang on to leads because teams will pressure you on the perimeter, and you need to be able to score the ball in the paint.
He's got to start scoring again. I mean, he's a talented guy. You're right. Inside, they need a little more action.
All right, guys, so Oklahoma comes up a winner in the Big 12 championship over Missouri, 49-47. Oklahoma improves to 24-6, same as Illinois, while Missouri falls to 21-10. The ACC championship game today in Greensboro, North Carolina, between North Carolina State and Duke. NC State's Josh Powell is 24th point of the game on the short jumper. Wolfpack was up 6.
And along came Jones, little head fake, pumps him up and hits the jumper, putting the Blue Devils up 72-69. And Reddick, what a great stroke, Clark. Unbelievable from deep. Get those puppies set automatic. You can't let them alone. You got to chase him, hug his hip. It's all nylon.
Duke's Daniel Ewing will take it in and miss the layup. I think Horvath is there for the follow. NC State coach Herb Sendek after the game.
I can't express well enough to you in words how honored and privileged I am to coach these guys. It means more to me than I'm able to adequately describe to you right now.
Wolfpack did put up a valiant effort today. Blue Devils win it by a score of 84-77. And I'll go back to what you said, Clark, earlier in the day. Duke can come back because of their ability to shoot the three, but the thing that strikes me is live by the sword, you can die by the sword.
Exactly, but if you defend and get stopped, and now you push it up and you get those open court three-point opportunities, it really not only can inflate you, but it can deflate the opposition.
And of course, Herb Sendek, I usually take the loser's side, having lost
Been there
many a
a little
ball
bit.
game in my life. But, here's a guy that made an adjustment late in his coaching career. He went to the Princeton offense, and it really turned this team around. I mean, good for him, proud of his guys, and, of course, Duke they're always ready at tournament.
Proud of his guys. Is anybody surprised that the Wolfpack reached the championship game in the ACC?
Mildly so, but their style of play, as Bill alluded to, makes it tough for them to be covered effectively. Everybody can pass, shoot, and handle, and they showed that they got their groove going late.
So the final, Duke over North Carolina State by a score of 84-77. And in the SEC championship game down in New Orleans, Mississippi State took on the Kentucky Wildcats. MSU's Mario Austin opened 3, increases the Bulldog lead to 7.
Keith Bogan's having a terrific year. Nice up and under move there. The Wildcats by 5. But then Mississippi State's Timmy Bowers, the pilfer, and the finish. It's a 5-point game in Kentucky's favor.
Winston Frazier wide open. You see him waving his arms right to the bottom of your screen. He'll nail the 3. Kentucky's lead is down to 1. But here come the Wildcats. Marquise Estel drives the lane, lays it home. Tubby Smith after the game with Dan Bonner.
We shot the ball well, but we just turned the ball over so much. But we did what we had to do down the stretch, made some key free throws, forced some key turnovers, challenged everything at the basket, something these kids have been doing all year long and something that hasn't happened in 50-some-odd years, so I'm so pleased that these young men were able to go out, as winners.
23 consecutive wins for the Wildcats, unbeaten in the SEC, unbeaten in the postseason tournament. Tubby Smith said it right, Bill. Kentucky does what it has to do.
I don't know what he did when he came back from Maui. I mean, this team didn't look good, didn't play well. He probably started working real hard because this team has responded to him. And what I like the most, Clark, is they change defenses. I mean, they can play a lot of things well, but they're so unselfish. They really give of themselves.
In the second half of the Vanderbilt game, I can't remember the exact date, early January, they found themselves. They found their identity. Everybody bought into the fact we're going to get into people and make it tough for them to score, and we're going to share the ball, and that formula is part of the 23-game winning streak.
And let's face it, you play a season the way the Kentucky Wildcats have, there are certain expectations. We're wondering if there are certain teams that can get to New Orleans. You'd be shocked if this Kentucky team wasn't one of them.
Yeah, they would certainly be a favorite right now, without question.
Yeah, all right, so the Kentucky Wildcats win it by a score of 64-57, win the SEC title game. We'll take a timeout here, and we will come back with more as we continue along the road to the Final Four in just a moment.
Introducing Cayenne, pure Porsche in a most unexpected form.
So many Cinderellas and yet just one slipper. Huh. Poet, is that a co-ed school? Oh, the Huskies, the big bone team.
Hey, Craig, nice show tonight.
Hey, Billy. Feel free. I was just letting it breathe.
What's going on?
Just the answer to everything.
Somewhere, a nurse manager's blood pressure is rising. 4 nurses out with the flu, ER's gone berserk, and the compound fracture in 116 just wants his lime gelatin. Nearby, a talented nursing assistant needs a good job. That's where we come in. Employers call 888-MONSTER. Post your job and find the right person for it. Because now, blue collar, white collar, no collar. Monster works for everybody.
Cars with worn shocks can take 10 feet farther to stop. Next time you're in for tires or brakes, have your shocks checked as part of a Monroe Safety Triangle inspection. Monroe. Ride safe.
They fought all season for this moment. CBS reveals the 65 teams that will make their move to March Madness, the NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show, tonight on CBS.
Welcome back, everyone. I want to remind you, coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, CBS Sports brings you the exclusive announcement of the pairings and the seedings of the full 65-team tournament field on the NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes. It's followed by My Big Fat Greek Life, Becker, and the CBS Sunday movie Mafia Doctor, starring Paul Sorvino and Olympia Dukakis. Well, we have with us now one of the coaches of one of the teams that is very solidly on the bubble. Todd Licklider is in his second year as the head coach of Butler University, and he joins us now live. Todd, you are very much in the picture simply because last year I think you guys became the poster child for everything that was thrown at the tournament selection committee. I know it was a disappointment last year. How anxious are you right about now?
Well, it was a disappointment last year, but that's in the past, and we're looking forward to this situation. We feel like we've earned an opportunity to play in this tournament, and now we're just looking forward to see where we're going to go.
What makes you feel better about it this year than a year ago?
Well, I think that the RPI is one thing. We're in the mid-30s right now, and with the same record. We've lost 5 games, all on the road. The teams we've lost to have a combined home losing record of 3 losses. I think when you put it all together, we have a very strong case.
Todd, compare this year's team to last year's team from a personnel and style of play standpoint.
Very similar. we lost 3 seniors. We lost the postseason player of the year and the preseason player of the year from last year. But we have 6 seniors back, great leadership, play a similar style where we have a lot of slashers, and then we have excellent three-point shooters. And defensively, we've maintained. I think right now we're second, or in the top 10 in the nation in team defense. And then as far as handling the ball, we're one of the top teams in fewest turnovers also. So very similar to last year.
Todd, is part of your success that everybody contributes? It seems like we've got 3, 4, 5 guys a night in double figures.
That's absolutely right. And it's not just a night. This team's very, very unselfish. They're able to find out who has the advantage, who's got the opportunity to score on a given night. And we might have a player score in the mid-20s one night and maybe only take 2 shots the next game. So it's just a very unselfish team. Bill, I think you had us 2 years ago in the first round in the NCAAs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you're right.
And you remember Brandon Miller and Joel Fournette.
Heart and soul, right?
Yes. And so they're all back, and this is their senior year.
Hey, Todd, we wish you luck. Can I assume that you'll be watching with interest at the top of the hour?
We're all here together. We're watching with interest. Absolutely.
Good luck to you, Coach. Thanks very much for joining us.
Let's talk a little bit about these bubble teams and the teams that you guys have been saying all along are the ones that are questionable. What do you think?
Well, I certainly think, again, the top 6 teams on this list, Greg, I think will get at-large bids and invitations to the tournament just based on comparing them to the bottom 3 in that list. I think their cases are just strong.
No. Colorado, for example, I mean, they've beaten everybody at home that they've had to pretty much. The trouble's been on the road. They've been very impressive. And the Zags, they traveled, they played every place. I don't think there's a concern there.
I think Illinois winning the Big Ten Conference Championship maybe opens up a spot for Southern Illinois to grab another spot.
All right, guys, we will know soon enough. We'll take a time out here. We'll continue to travel the road to the Final Four in just a moment.
If you're heading out there, I'll give you a tip. It's wild and it's far, and you're in for a trip. For just when you think it couldn't get rougher, the path goes crooked and the going gets tougher. But once you've traveled this far off the track, you won't settle for less, and there's no going back. The powerful Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
Right now, the only thing standing between the supervisor and his weekend is somebody loading this pallet on a 5-ton truck to Tuscaloosa. Nearby, a fast, dependable forklift operator needs a good job. That's where we come in. Employers, call 888-MONSTER. Post your job and find the right person for it. Because now, blue collar, white collar, no collar, Monster works for everybody.
What? Oh, come on.
Struggling to keep your grass green? Maybe it's time you got a fertilizer that works at every level. Introducing Bear Advanced Triple Action 1 Fertilizer. It works at every level. The grass, the roots, plus it fortifies the soil for a thicker, deep-down green that lasts. Guaranteed. Bear Advanced. Better thinking, better results. Available at Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse and other fine retailers.
Let's look ahead this week. Our CBS Sports Live coverage of the NCAA basketball tournament begins at noon Eastern Time this Thursday and Friday. The first games will tip each day at 12:15 Eastern. Our prime time first-round coverage comes your way each evening at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Now, last year, the NCAA instituted a new pod system that will try to keep as many teams as close to home as possible in the first 2 rounds of the tournament. What it does is has the effect of creating a home court atmosphere for some teams. We asked a few coaches whether they thought this is fair.
It benefited us last year, and I'm sure over time there'll be some times where it benefits us again, and then it doesn't play to our favor again. But I think the jury's still out on it. I think if you have to if you have to change the seat of a team in order to accommodate staying closer to home, then I don't think it's succeeded.
I think it's the right thing to do if you don't penalize a team that should have gained an advantage by having a great regular season.
And you look at home court advantages this year, how important it is to play home. Well, playing close to home helps you too. And I like the NCAA tournament to be as neutral as possible.
If you've gone through a brutal conference or a brutal schedule and you're a 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed, then being able to play closer to home is a reward for you.
Any team that's invited to the tournament, no matter where they go, is going to be happy, and we should just look for the best matchups. And if it means that an 8 seed, you know, instead of going west should stay east, I think they should do that, but not be so, you know, specific with pods to do it. I like the way it was done before.
Coaches have their thoughts. Let's go back to the question I initially posed. Is it fair? My reaction is it is if you're the guy who's playing close to home, and it's not so fair if you're playing somewhere. You betcha.
Yeah, it's fair if you're real good.
I mean, I kind of like it, actually. I like the fact that the committee is trying to reward teams that end up on those top 4 lines. I know it's not perfect, but I kind of like the fact that it generates the kind of environment at each of the sites that you'd like to see.
My only argument with that is it rewards the teams that need it the least, because the teams on those top 4 lines are your better teams.
Well, you work hard for the seeding, and then you get accommodated.
That's
but
my
also,
position.
I like walking to the building when it's exciting, and I think the kids do too, to be honest with you.
All right, guys, a timeout here. We'll continue to travel the road to the Final Four selection show, top of the hour. Don't go away.
So now Valpo's going to have to go the length of the court, 2.5. The inbounds pass to be thrown by Jamie Sykes. Carter pressure it. It's to Jenkins, to Drew for the win. Gone! He did it! Bryce Drew did it! Valpo has won the game! A miracle! Is this March Madness or what?
Hey, Bob. You get a new haircut?
No.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
Did you lose weight?
Your jacket, Bob?
Nope. What's different? He finally asked his doctor about Viagra. Ready to ask your doctor about Viagra for the first time? Find out if a free sample is right for you. To learn more, visit Viagra.com.
Called the sitter, walked the dog, and I saw the doctor.
Ask your doctor and see the difference.
Right now at TGI Fridays, 2 can share an appetizer and pick 2 of Friday's favorite entrees from our special menu for just $19.99. It's one delicious deal.
Why should you consider getting an education in the Navy? This is one of your classrooms. Navy, accelerate your life.
I swim the 200. I study sociology. I grind out laps. I cram for tests. I race nationals. I take finals. And when I finish, I'll be ready to start.
There are 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and thanks to continued support, Coca-Cola helps them pursue their dreams.
Those are the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest University. They are sitting around just waiting to find out where they are going to go in the upcoming NCAA tournament. The Missouri Tigers, a valiant run through the Big 12 tournament, just falling short of Oklahoma. The Tigers also curious about where they'll end up in the tournament. And it's one of those teams that is very much on the bubble. The Salukis of Southern Illinois University. Bruce Weber is their head coach, and he joins us now. And Coach, it's too late to do it, but if you had to ask the selection committee for one more shot, what's your best argument for why the Salukis belong in the tournament?
Well, first of all, we won our league, and we went 16-2, and the Missouri Valley Conference has great tradition, 90-some years. And we won 16 games in the league, and a league that had Creighton had been rated in the top 20 all year. And I think we're the 5th team in the history of the league that's won 16. We won 14 out of 15 to end the year. And, you know, our success last year, I got to believe the committee would look strongly upon our league to get 2 bids.
Well, Bruce, you certainly made a very strong case, at least in our opinion. We don't have any influence over that. But talk about your feelings now compared to what they were a year ago at this particular time.
Well, it's really similar. I mean, it's been a long week. We lost last year in the championship game. We actually had 26 wins, but our RPI wasn't quite as good. We're probably 34, 35 today, the last we saw. So, you know, we felt pretty good all week because people kept saying you're in. All the .coms, you know, said you're in, you're in. And then last night we started getting some inklings that maybe we weren't in, that we were on the major bubble. And I don't know what had changed, you know, overnight. But this morning it seemed like they had us back in there. And it was a sleepless night in Carbondale last night. And then today was a long day. And we're just anxiously awaiting. We're hoping that the Salukis pop up on the screen.
Hey, Bruce, real quick, we were just talking about the pod system. When you're on the bubble, you really don't care much about the pod system, do you?
No, we don't. Last year it worked out for us. We got to play in Chicago. We had our own pod system, and it ended up great for us. But we're just hoping we get, it doesn't matter if it's Spokane or wherever, Tampa, we just want to be in there.
All right, Coach, we will find out along with you at the top of the hour. Good luck to you. Thanks very much for taking the time.
Thank you.
You know, it has to be an incredible feeling to sit there and go, am I going somewhere? Is my season over, or does it have a few more, you know, few more notches in the belt?
I always know where I'm going to be this time.
That's right. We'll be right here. We'll see you right back here in just a moment. The selection show and the entire field revealed.
All right, this is interesting. UConn not playing the passer. Leitner with the shot, and it scores! And Duke wins!
Tiger Woods shoots for a feat never accomplished in the history of the Masters. 3 consecutive green jackets. The Masters is on CBS.
Don't miss CSI Miami, TV's most watched new drama. Monday on CBS, it's all here.
It's time to meet your match at the Chrysler National Minivan event, where we'll match